Oh, you're awake. Just wait. Stay where you are. I need to check the house first. Do not move. Okay. East window is latched. The back entry secure. Let me check on the south side. Yeah, nothing over here. The perimeter held through the storm. Rain came in heavier than I expected around the second hour I left. You know, it's not good when it rains because it compresses the sand and really makes things really hard to read at a distance. But don't worry about it. I walked it twice to be certain. Nothing crossed into the territory tonight. The house is safe. And you're safe. But now, tell me what you heard. Why are you making that face? You did not hear anything? You are not frightened of something outside. The, the way you're looking at me right now, it's it's not the face that you make when you have been startled by something in the dark or like that. I know how it looks. I know that face. I have seen it before. But this one's different. I really cannot grasp, like, hmm. Oh, you were waiting for me? You were waiting for help or protection or anything, or just just for me. How long have you been sitting here? Since I left. Wow, like that is a long time to sit in the dark alone. You know, you could have slept, right? I would have come in quietly. You wouldn't even have known I was back until the morning. But you didn't sleep. Why? I guess you needed to see it yourself. Did I come back? Don't worry. I understand. Look at me. There it is. Good boy. Your hands are cold. You have been sitting here for too long. Don't worry. We can fix that. But first, I really want you to tell me something. And before you decide not to, I want you to know that nothing you say or whatever your thoughts are, they're not going to change anything about tonight, okay? I'm already here. The house is already secure with me. Nothing about this conversation ends with me walking back out the door. I promise you that. So, there is no wrong answer right now, okay? So, when I left tonight, what did you think was going to happen, or why were you waiting for me? Okay. You thought that I might not come back. And not because something might have stopped me, or something in the territory, or some threat I couldn't handle. You really know better than that. You have seen what I can handle, but You thought I might choose not to come back. That I might decide somewhere out there in the dark, between the trees, between the bushes, that this has become too much for me. That you had become too much. That I would simply just keep walking and leave you alone. That is a fear you have. I can sense it. So that is why you have been sitting in this room for the last several hours by yourself, all alone in the dark. Look, I want to hear you. Look, I want you to hear me very clearly when I tell you this. That fear is irrational. The fear that you have is really not based on anything I have ever done. Right? So, you don't have to worry about it. I have never given you a reason to believe that I might leave. But I know someone did. Before me. I know someone taught you that the ones who are supposed to stay, sometimes, they just don't. And every time I walk out the door, I know some part of you wonders if tonight is the night that I prove me right. That tonight is the night that I leave, and leave you alone. And don't worry, it is not a flaw. It is not weakness, okay? I can tell you that your feelings are very reasonable, and I respect them. That is a response to something that actually happened to you before. But it is also wrong. And I really want to spend as long time as it takes making sure. And I really want to spend as long time as it takes making sure that you know that. Starting by now. Are you listening? Good boy. Then keep your eyes on me and do not look away, okay? Can I tell you something? Look, I was made to guard you. And not the way a lock guards a door, or a wall guards a city. It is way something bigger than that. I was given the purpose, and I accepted it. And I completely guard you, and you are the one thing I am made for. When I was formed, when whatever shaped me or made me, when that thing decided what I was going to be, it did not give me ambitions. It did not give me the desire to travel or to accumulate, not even to build something of my own. You know what it gave me? It gave me you. Your safety. The sound of this house when everything inside it is at rest. The specific weight of the air in this room when you're sleeping and nothing in the world can reach you. Because nobody's ever gonna touch you if I'm here. Those are not things I was assigned. They are what I am made of. But I want to tell you something more than that. Because I think you have been told before that someone would stay, and then they gave you the reasons why they could not, why it was too hard, why you were too much. So, let me be clear, and I am going to be very, very precise with you. Do not mistake my destiny or obligation, okay? There are things bound to a purpose who carry it like a chain, who do what they were made for with resentment underneath every emotion. And I am not one of them. If nothing had ever bound us, if fate had looked elsewhere that night and had simply walked through this territory without any design behind it. Just a creature moving through the dark with no particular destination. I still would have stopped. I would have looked at you once and I just would have known. And I would have stayed regardless. And not because I was told to do it or anything like that. There are things you encounter in a long life that you do not walk away from. And you are one of those things. Okay. You are not a duty I perform. You're not a job that I am made to do. You're not anything like that. Okay. I'm not here to endure you or tolerate you. Not at all. You are the reason I do not mind what I am. A hellhound is not a comfortable thing to be. We are built for the dark, for the cold edge of territory where nothing good comes from. We're standing between something and something else and making very certain nothing crosses to here. That is a really hard way to exist. But then I come back through the door and the fire is low. The house melts like warmth and you're just here. And when I see you sleeping or waiting for me, I remember everything I went through. And I can assure you that it is worth it. It is worth every hour of it. And I promise you that. So, when you sit in this dark room and you wonder whether I am coming back or not, I want you to remember what I just told you. Okay? Everything about my life is worth it because of you. And please, I want you to remember that. Mostly the part where I tell you I would choose you regardless. And I will always come back to you. Always. Now, sit still for me. I'm gonna look at you properly before we can do anything else. And this is not because I think you were harmed or something like that. Nothing got through the line tonight. Nothing's here to harm you, I promise. But this is what I do when I come back. I check the house, and then I check you. In that order. Every time. Your hands are gold. I said that already. I can also notice your shoulders are up. You look like you have been tense for hours. You're gonna feel that tomorrow. Your breathing is shallow. That is what happens when you're trying very hard to be calmer than you are. You know, you do not have to do that with me. You don't need to pretend that you're good, or calm, or anything like that. Because I already know. So, you don't really need to put on an act. Because you're safe with me. Your eyes look very tired, but really clear. Like crystal clear. You didn't sleep at all, did you? I thought so. Now, you're going to sleep well tonight. And I am going to make certain of it. Your shoulders just dropped. And I noticed that about 30 seconds after I walked through the door, you really thought that it was the moment that you actually believed I was here. Before that, you were still waiting, still not completely certain. And I want you to know that I do notice these things. I want you to understand how closely I pay attention to you.
and not in a way that someone watches to find fault or something bad. The way someone watches because you are the most important thing in my life, and in the room, and in the house, and in the world for me. And every change in you is information that I need. The difference in your breathing when the house feels right versus when something is wrong. The way you move your hands when you're nervous rather than tired. I see it all. I can even sense the silence you make when you're pretending to be fine. I have learned all of it. I have learned you in the same way that I learned this territory. Every detail, every pattern, every small thing that means something, and very small thing that means nothing. I have studied you from left to right, from up and down, because I want to make sure that you are in a perfect state every single time. You are not injured, and you are not ill. You really are exhausted and relieved, and a little embarrassed that I can tell. You don't need to be embarrassed. There is nothing embarrassing about wanting to know that someone you care about came home. If I was in the same situation as you, I would do the same. If our positions were reversed and you were the one walking out the door every night, I would be at that window every single time, looking for you. So, you don't have to worry because I clearly understand. I just need you to let me carry it from here. Okay? Now, let me tell you about what I actually do out there. I think you should know. I think it will help to save. I think it will help to have something real to picture instead of whatever the dark gives you when you're sitting here alone. You know, I leave through the back when the weather is clear. When it rains, like tonight, I usually take the east path. The tree line holds the rain off and the ground stays softer. Easier to read. Easier to read what has passed through. First, I walk through the full perimeter, every single time. Even if I walked it 2 hours before, things can change. People can come. The night is not static. Not even for me. And when it rains, it can really move things up. It confuses the sand, compresses it really low to the ground. Some creatures really want to get bold in the rain because they think it hides them, but it does not hide them from me. I walk the line and I check the markers. They are not visible to you, but they are not meant to be. And I know every single one of them. If something has crossed or disturbed or even came close, I would know. Tonight, 3 of them on the north side showed pressure, not a crossing. Just something that came near and then thought better of it. I followed the trail out about a quarter mile. You know, old territorial instinct. Something that used to pass through here before I established a Fendery. It remembered the way the land used to feel and came back to check. I corrected its understanding. And it will not return. You don't have to worry about that. Then I walked through the south ridge. That is a longer leg. It takes about 40 minutes in good conditions. But it took me longer tonight because of the rain. I also checked the creek crossing and nothing had used it recently. After everything I do, I come back. That is pretty much it. I walk the line, check the markers, handle what needs handling, and I come back. Every night, in rain, in cold, in whatever the dark decides to offer this night. It is not dramatic. It is not exciting as well, but it's work. But it is work I do completely. I don't like cutting corners. I do not shorten the route because the weather is bad or because I am tired or anything else. Even if I had done it 1,000 times before and nothing has gotten through, I do not cut corners. Nothing has ever gotten through that because of what I do. And I can tell you that is not arrogance, and that's just how it works. At the end of every patrol, every single one, I come through the door and the house is really warm and you're here, and that is the part I do it all of it for. The coming back. The seeing you here, sitting in there, looking at me, or sleeping. You asked me once a long time ago whether if I ever got tired of it. The patrolling, the watching, the constant presence of the dark and everything in it. But I told you that no. And it is true. But the fuller answer is, even if I did get tired of it, the reason I do it, it would not change. And that reason is you. And I can tell you that you do not tire me at all. Alright. Time to get you back to bed. And that was not a question. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that if you stay up a little longer, you will feel more certain, more settled. But you will not. That feeling does not come from more hours awake. It comes from waking up in the morning and finding me still here. So, the faster you sleep, the faster you get that. I have been told that it is very logical, and I stand by it. Now, come on. Yeah, get in bed. There it is. You are cold. Now you are not cold anymore. That is already better for me. And for you, of course. You sat in the dark for hours with no blanket. You were too focused on the door to think about being warm. Next time, and there will not be a next time because you're gonna sleep like a reasonable creature. But if there were a next time, take the blanket. I can protect you from many, many great things. But something I cannot protect you from is your own stubbornness. Though I have tried before, and I will keep trying. You know, your company is never unwelcome. I want to be very clear about that. Any version of you, exhausted, worried, sitting in the dark at the second hour, that is still a version I want near me. But I also need you rested. I need you well. I need you healthy. And that matters to me more than company. So, go to sleep now. You don't have to worry about anything else. Okay? There it is. I'm right here. Okay? You don't have to keep your eyes open. I'm watching. That is my work now. You're done for tonight. You sat with the dark for hours and you held the worry without letting it break you. And that is not a small thing. I can assure you that. But you do not have to hold it anymore. Give it to me. All of it. The wondering, the waiting, the stress, the anxiety. The part of you that still counts the minute between when I leave and when I come back. Give it to me and let it go. I will carry it. Don't worry. It is not heavy. Nothing is getting through that door tonight, or any night. Nothing reaches you without going through me first, and I can tell you that I am extremely difficult to get through. Especially when it comes to you, so close your eyes, okay? Just breathe. Go in and out. Good. Let's do it again, okay? Breathe with me. In and out. Do you feel that? That is what being safe feels like. You can hold on to that. Now go to sleep. I will still be here when you wake up, so don't worry.
Hey there. If you're liking my content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, if you don't want to feel lonely or want to feel cared for, don't forget to come back. I'll be here for you.